Chapter 3, Categorizing the Dimensions of Social Research. What are the 4 goals for sociological research? Well, there are 4 goals, and we're going to go over these 4 goals in this part of the lecture today. These 4 goals are to explore, to describe, to explain, and to apply. And they're typically shaped by the audience. So the audience, the research question will then determine which approach we're looking into. Do we need to explore? Do we need to describe, explain, apply the research about this particular sociological phenomenon? In the first type of research, exploratory research, new issues, identities, groups, they can come along suddenly, and in other cases, suddenly come to an end. And so when this happens, researchers are really curious and interested in learning about that and exploring the topic as much as possible. So this research is conducted with the goal of examining a topic that is new, unstudied, or understudied. Researchers often use a diverse set of methodological tools to analyze data. They may use surveys, they may use secondary data sources, they may observe the environment. So there are a variety of tools that we may use to explore the particular topic of research. For example, climate change. Changes in the climate might make some traditions impossible to maintain, as a result of the changes in the climate. So researchers would be interested in exploring what is happening, and I'd say, ask questions. What is this? What is happening? What does this mean? What is this like for the people living in that climate? Now, there are 2 common situations where we might initially think that the goal is exploration, but it's actually something else. Now, the first time you learn about something and think that it is the first time that anyone has learned about it, for example, it may be new to me, but it may not be new to others. Another situation might be where we have, for example, a topic A and topic C, 2 different topics, and believing that there is a whole other topic in between them. But really, it's just an expansion of something, again, that is already there. And so we would learn this through the exploratory research. Goal number 2 would be descriptive research. And in descriptive research, researchers are conducting their research with the goal of documenting and describing the social phenomenon. Descriptive research is important because it gives us accurate information about the social world that we are trying to describe. Descriptive research can be used for documenting what people believe, determining how often people believe information is factually correct, and serving as the inspiration for other types of research. We might ask questions like how much, how many, in order to get that description of the social phenomenon understudied. The third goal for sociological research is explanatory research. And in explanatory research, researchers are conducting their research to document and explain the reasons for differences between social groups, so looking for patterns. Social patterns are complex, and people can spend their entire careers answering questions about a particular social phenomenon, exploring a variety of explanations. And so, explanatory research can have very valuable impact in trying to explain a particular social phenomenon. Now, we've been talking about hypotheses, and when it comes to explanatory research, with hypotheses, these are predictions that researchers make about what they expect to find. What can we prove or disprove? What is the cause and effect? And researchers are thinking about what they expect to find, and in particular, what are the possible relationships? How can we develop a sort of explanation or as to why one variable or independent variable has an effect on the dependent variable. So we're developing this hypothesis to decide what kind of information we need to gather in order to prove or disprove this hypothesis. This is sort of a cycle of research. And the process of conducting sociological research, in which descriptive research is used to develop an understanding of social life. Theories are then developed based on that description, and then theories are then tested through explanatory research. So again, we see a cycle of the goals of various types of research happening. The fourth goal is the applied research. Applied research is research conducted with the goal of having a practical use regarding problems and social issues in society today. And we see these in two different ways. We see, number one, we see program evaluation in applied research, and we see community-based research or community action type research. Program evaluation and evaluation research, this is a type of applied research used to determine how well a program or initiative is achieving its desired goal. For example, if you're working at an organization that helps those with addictive issues with addiction, maybe there's a program in place to try to help those who have an addiction to drugs or alcohol. And so maybe there's more than one program that you're trying to figure out which one is most effective. Or is the program in our organization, is it an effective program? So that's when program evaluation applied research is used. It allows us to assess whether the attempts to change social conditions have that effect. Does this have the desired effect? In community-based community action research, this is a type of applied research where applied sociologists will work in collaboration with the community members. I think we talked about this as well in class, and we look at how we collaborate, maybe do a needs assessment in the community to address any particular problems that we might find in that needs assessment. And so the community members would answer sort of a brief survey on the needs of the community, and then work in collaboration to determine what are those needs, how can we address those problems, those social problems, or these issues facing that community. Sociologists conducting this type of research work with the members of the community to develop those questions. So they're working all in every step of the way. And that community-based research is then applied to that particular community. You wouldn't be able to take it and move it somewhere else. You need to then learn some additional things about it if it was a different community. It's specific to that neighborhood or that community. Here are some of the key features of qualitative and quantitative data. First, the qualitative data is used by sociologists and typically consists of language such as descriptions or narratives. We look for thick, rich descriptions provided to us by our respondents. Qualitative data usually consists of long passages and complete sentences. We usually transcribe the responses in detail, word for word. And when analyzing qualitative data, we look for commonalities. We look for themes in that data. We can use these themes to make comparisons. Whereas quantitative data, this is data used by sociologists consisting of numbers and categories. Quantitative data is data that may already be in numerical form, or it's data that can be represented by numbers. We sort of quantify the information or the data that we collect. Quantitative data can be used to identify patterns. We look at trends in the data. We look at differences, similarities within large groups, large numbers of people, large numbers of observations. Researchers can also use quantitative data to make comparisons, and we convert raw data into percentages, proportions, rates, those sorts of statistical procedures that will help us make those comparisons.